Save my content. I will save my progress up to this point. Okay, okay. Rise from the ashes, good start, I'd say. Was a pretty long investigation. Chat has been saying that this one is a very long case, so we'll see how it goes. But let's get on to this trial. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they're suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fey helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I mean, Edgeworth might bail you out again. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. February 23rd, 10 a.m. Courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. Hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. Suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? What a stupid name. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Aha, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. I don't blame him, bro. The judge has been trying to order a meal for, like, 10 in-game hours, and no one brought him his McNuggets. Finally, he can chow down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Is she allowed to bring food into the courtroom like this? Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name. Profession. Now. Your Honor, I would like to hold my witness in contempt of court. Me, the name is Angel Starr, don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? There's a whole lot of people mentioning 2 years ago when they were in different professions than what they're in now, by the way. Very sus. The cowboy, this chick. I feel like there might have been one other. If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. And I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? Why was Goodman in A block and murdered at A block if he should have been in B block? Intriguing. The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness account. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. Yeah, which one of your boyfriends? When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. Judge, what? As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point to your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. All right, here we go. Let me get a drink of water real quick before we go through this. Hold it! How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I don't think that you're allowed to talk, Emma. I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Okay, so you have something against. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue. Hold it! This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Let's go, the judge is a man of integrity, let's go! Note to self, the judge had to think before replying, listen! Any man would have to think for at least half a second. That's just part of being a man. What matters is the conclusion he came to. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Hold it. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes, It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. What? I have no idea what that means. I agree. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese. Yo, I'm with the judge. This lady is speaking in tongues. A pale white cheese, not yet tangy, with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Okay, I know what greenhorn means. Then I must be hard yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Why are they hating on my boy, the judge? In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Yeah, isn't Edgeworth like a little too close to this case to be prosecuting him? Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness! In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you're a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. What are you talking about? That was inspiring, was it? I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowliest post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. What? I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness? Why am I only seeing this photograph just now? Yeah, I don't think that we can, like, submit this as evidence. You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. All right, I don't see how on earth I'm gonna get out of this one. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay, there was one... Which one of these had the red text when I pushed her on it? Let me look at my evidence here. Okay, this is his ID. Yeah. No prints, huh? I think Lana was wearing a glove. We're gonna parking in the prosecutor's office lot, yada. Wait a minute, let me see that picture of Lana doing the deed. Yeah, she's wearing gloves in this image, so she wouldn't leave any prints. 6-7S12-2. Interesting. (12-2), 221. That's interesting. Very interesting. Which one of these I pressed you on and I got red text? Which one was that? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yada yada. What an odd case this is. The person you saw, sure it was the defendant, yada yada. No, it wasn't that one. Kind of wish this game had a thing like Persona has, where you can like look back at text logs. Was it this one? Send something saying you had a premonition. Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you pump full of seeds, yada yada. Okay, this is just a bunch of jokes that aren't very funny. Is it the boyfriend one? Yet another boyfriend. Security guard room is in the lot in A block. Right, okay, I know that. It's up on the second level so you can see everything from there. Yep. Okay. Parked in B block. Witnessed the crime at B block. Wait a second. Okay, she did take this picture. There, you can see the chain link fence. So she did take this picture from B block. Can't help but notice that there isn't a knocked over water drum behind her. When we were at the scene of the crime, we saw a knocked over drum. It's probably gonna come up later. Man, I have no idea what I could catch her on right now. Name and ID number, Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID number, yada yada. Shut up. I don't like having evidence where I have to go through the little joke rigmarole every time I want to read it. Oh, I have to examine, oh my goodness. This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edgeworth in the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Now there's a scary thought. I need to look at anything else on this. Doesn't seem like it. I don't like the examining evidence thing they've added to the game. Oh my goodness, I have to do this for like every... Okay, I really don't like this. I hope that this is not a thing in the other GBA ones. Miles Edgeworth, 1712. This is dated the day of the crime. Murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair. Perhaps. Just goes to show you never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, alright. Name of deceased, Bruce Goodman, 36, male. Date and time of death, February between 4 and 5:30. They're saying it's 5:15, that fits. Loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. 4.5, you say? You said 4 inches, right? I mean, 4 and 4.5, that seems like such a weird thing to like try and call out on. I see, yada yada. Okay. Don't smile like that, it wasn't that one. Where's the one where you talked about the knife's length? Tell me more about this knife the suspect was carrying. Yeah. Tell me more about this. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Yeah, she says about 4 inches long, and it's 4.5. I mean, I don't think I can call her on that. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife after all? Yes, that's about right. Yeah, about right. Okay. Well, versus location of man's vital organs, yada yada. What else have I got? 6-7S 12-2. I don't think there's anything else I can do with this, is there? What a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes. Yada yada. It's the same thing we had before. Anything else about this phone other than the redial thing? There's no need to push this again. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind, it's nothing. All right, so this isn't really helping me at all. The security room can't see where Edgeworth's car is. How did Edgeworth even park his car here? What an annoying, like, spot to park with that wall right there. Can I catch her on that somehow? No, because she's just saying that she saw the murder, not that, the security thing saw the murder. That's probably something I have to catch on later, I would guess. Man, I have no idea. It's a lot of blood specifically on the right side of your jacket there. Like a lot. I have no idea. Yeah, saw her raise the knife to strike, etc., etc. The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late, you say? Too late, you say? The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, yada, yada. Is my sister guilty, yada, yada? I've already pressed her on everything, and that's not helping. That's not helping, like, at all. Hold it! How did you know? Respect the prosecutor's abhorrence, yet their methods are ugly and twisted, will lead to tragedy. Lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Killing off a detective knew too much is an extension of that. Miss Starr, you have something personal against him. Dream jar when given in, haven't been able to lay it off. It's gotta be something with this, right? It's gotta be something about her being a scumbag. Probably. Maybe. Potentially, I don't know. Cause she, like, hates, she hates prosecutors, so there's gotta be something here about her hating prosecutors, surely. If I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue. Is it really? Is she really? Is she really unbiased if she hates him that much? Just doesn't seem likely, right? I feel like that is inherently wrong, right? Like, how can you be unbiased but also hate prosecutors and you're saying a prosecutor, like, performed a murder? Just doesn't add up. Dude, I have literally no idea. What can I even mention? Am I supposed to bring up that, like, did she not see Edgeworth at all? Like, him parking and getting out? Maybe? I don't see where I'm going to hit her with that, though. I have literally no idea. Like, I don't even know what to begin with. I hate how many, like, seemingly bad jokes are put into this testimony. I literally have no idea. I guess I just gotta throw out some objections and, like, hope I get something. I don't think it's the knife being the wrong size, but, like, she said about 4 inches, and it says in here that it's 4.5. I mean, I gotta do something at some point. Witness's statement is clearly faulty. Sorry, I can see nothing. Yeah, me either, bro. Let's just think about what's most likely. How am I gonna contradict her on saying, like, I was delivering a lunch and, like, I'm a good detective or what have you? Through the wire fence, I saw standing next to a car, holding a knife in her hand, thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the chest. Okay. It's gotta be probably one of these three. Is it... Does the picture you have her holding the knife in her left hand? Is it literally just like Edgeworth's case again? No, it doesn't even show her holding a knife, because this is after she did the murder. She did the murder, and then What's-Her-Face took the picture. Yeah, because she already has the body and the whatchamacallit here. Bro, I have no earthly idea. can I maybe say that, like, there's no knife in the picture? Because didn't she say earlier that she, like, took a photo immediately instinctively? But she wouldn't have taken a photo until after she saw her stab the person, though, right? I mean, what have I got to lose? Objection! Objection! And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Guy stab the victim with the knife? Was that actually right? As I've already said, yes, I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? All right, that's stupid. That's like, hello? This seems so dumb. Like, I took a picture, like, you know, like, she stabbed her, and then I took a picture. Like, okay, yeah, you took a picture after she stabbed him. Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like... And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Yeah, like, huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. That's clearly a blood splatter. Hello? Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you gonna just sit there and take that kind of abuse? I mean, that was a crappy... I'm actually a little upset at the game for that. That was, like... I think this is a horrible objection. Like, I'm 100% with Edgeworth. What a dumb thing for the game to expect me to be like... Because it all makes absolute logical sense. What everything Edgeworth just said. So I figured out that the objection was bad before I made it, but I get punished for figuring out that it's a bad objection before I made it? Hello? Do not like that. I mean, I guess I have to object it, but I don't know what I'm gonna do from there. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. Okay, so she said that when she said she got the picture out, but then I couldn't reread the... Okay, so now I'm mad for another reason. Because now they're saying, oh, she said at the exact moment, not 2 seconds after the stabbing. I would argue that saying, like, well, yeah, in the moment, I mean that the crime was happening, like she was putting a body in a... That doesn't make sense to me. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. And also, the thing that I'm now objecting is something that I only got to read once, and if I didn't remember it exactly, then from what I could tell, there was no way for me to, like, read those text boxes again. Seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. I'm also very tired of these bad, like, gimmick comments. I get it. She's a lunch lady. I get it. The other guy thinks he's a cowboy. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Oh yeah, if they're surgical gloves, that's like really weird. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. I mean, maybe she just wanted to wear gloves, bro. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. All right. Hopefully, this isn't gonna be as stupid now. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial is already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound. Shut up! I'm so sick of that stupid joke. Alright, well, obviously I have to, like, prove that it's not premeditated. Oh, whoops, I thought that there would be more text to hit right. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I hate how pressing right one time too many makes you go through all the dialogue at the end again. I mean, it seems really premeditated. She was wearing gloves and she called the guy in. Can I maybe talk about Edgeworth? Edgeworth coming in at, like, 3 minutes before? Like, how could she plan for Edgeworth showing up? How could she possibly know that Edgeworth would be there with, like, 3 minutes from when she needed to murder the guy, and she took Edgeworth's knife out of the car in that amount of time? That just doesn't seem likely. This evidence clearly revealed, no, that's like that's the text that means you got it wrong. Maybe it's the knife? Maybe I just showed the wrong thing, like, how could she have planned this murder not knowing that that knife would be there when she needed it and all? I feel like the parking stub would have worked just as well. Would her phone call mean anything? Like... Surely she would have brought her own knife. Maybe it is that you just have to do... Maybe I'm right, but you have to use the knife instead of the parking stub. Objection! The music stopped. I must have gotten it. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know? Shut up. That's a knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, that is my knife. I love that knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder. Well, I pressed X twice there by mistake, I think. The defendant is the chief. Oh, no, it's just going through the thing faster. It's auto-cycling text. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Whoa. Order, order, order. I want a McFlurry. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. That is not likely. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I don't like pie. I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Ha! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. All right, this chick is full of herself. Really now. Angel's deduction. Landeskine intended to murder Detective Goodman. You were just told only to say what you saw. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Oh yeah, this is the most obvious objection of all time. He was stabbed once. I have the autopsy report. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine. Yeah. This one is, like, so, like, obvious. Yep. See, now you're lying, which means you've screwed yourself. Objection! You're an idiot! You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my Moss surprise. If this chick pulls out one more boxed lunch as some kind of, like, one-liner, I might turn off this game. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk, he's my hero, really. Okay. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness, you got the crime scene set, right? Thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw, then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify? What? But she said, wait a minute, why do we care about what she thought blood was? She said that she saw him get stabbed multiple times, which is a bold-faced lie. The amount of blood has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with is we have proof he was stabbed once. This chick says, yeah, he stabbed him like 5 times. What? Hello? I demand this witness be thrown out for lying. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler? What, the thing around her, a muffler like the thing around her neck? Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she could be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. What? She's right. Yo, this chick is, like, trying really hard to make me hate her testimony more than I hated Lotta Hearts. I hope this is just like the Von Karma case, Turnabout Goodbyes, where the first trial day was so bad it made me want to stop playing the game, but then the rest of the case was really good. Because I gotta tell you, right now, this trial day sucks. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? And you mistook a scarf around her neck for blood? What? This still has nothing to do with you saying that you saw her stabbed multiple times. But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood words? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. No, what? No, what? No. A judge with a bib, that's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. What? Actually, Chad, am I insane, or did, like, was this DLC bad? Did the game just get really, maybe I'm still too off the high of how good the Turnabout Goodbyes case was, but like, did Ace Attorney, like, get really bad in between last stream and this stream? Like, what is going on? This sounds like it was written by someone who did not write all of the other cases before this one. Maybe it wasn't, since it was added to the DS version. I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Yeah, she's lying! Like, can we just get her thrown out? She's lying! Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. Short wick burns out the fastest, it's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? What are you talking about? Why are we going through these metaphors? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. I don't care. Can we get back to the... I need to go back and play, like, Steel Samurai and Turnabout Goodbyes. I feel like they did not say nearly as much nonsensical garbage in those cases as they do in this case. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge. Red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Is she wearing it in this photo? She's literally not even wearing it in this photo. You're a hack. Objection! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Let's go, Edgeworth! What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. Wait, she apprehended the suspect? I do remember some things accurately, at least. She's literally, we have proven that she's lied multiple times. Why are we still listening to her testimony? She's a proven liar who has a biased hatred towards attorneys. Why are we still listening to this? Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. We've proven that she's lying under oath! The most important part. The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Your Honor, I would like to move that she's literally lied multiple times in this testimony and thus cannot be trusted. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. What, a citizen's arrest? Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. There is no way that this woman stabbed a man. You ran up and said, hey, you're under arrest, and she was like, I forgot my scarf. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Everyone is weak to poisonous snake bites unless you're like Sasuke or Orochimaru from Naruto. Hello? Or Yor from Spy Family. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rar. What? Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will. Can I opt out of this? Maybe we should have just gone straight to the second game, to be honest. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. All right. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? Quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details? Yeah, how did you get around the fence? I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. There was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. You went over the chain link fence? Fence? Words? What? I can't even speak? Amazing, the cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. Were you wearing a dress and heels? There's no shot. There's literally no way. Would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. No, she did not. There's no way. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Yeah, ask more. By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. Chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. She went around the partition and tried to use that phone? Apparently it was out of order, and so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Not very good for an emergency, then. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. Saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead. How do you... The phone is behind the partition. How do you see her using the phone? Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? I was gonna ask the same thing. Only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. How do you know that she picked up the phone if she's behind the partition? So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. How do you know that? And during the time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? This is literally impossible. Floor plans. It's gotta be the floor plans, right? You literally said she went behind a partition. It's gotta be the floor plans. Objection! You're an idiot! Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. That's not how that works. You don't remove bias because you used to have a profession. Hello? Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. All right, well, it's okay. So, Your Honor, I move that this trial day has been a complete waste of my time. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony, so how do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem, let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making a phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Oh, dude! The music that plays when you're sick of this trial day and you just want to end this woman's life and have her executed on the spot. Whoa! Whoa! Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. Grr. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you'll allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. I literally just said it. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... She lied about what she saw. She could not have seen her with the phone. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Sky using that emergency phone. Does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Starr? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Starr lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? Doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Dang, she's right. What do you... I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. What? You ordered the patooey on rice, right? Mr. Wright, I thought you had something there. What? What? She lied. Hello? What do you... Well, yes, the witness who is saying that she saw a woman commit murder lied, but the lie wasn't really that important, so... What? One more try? One more try what? I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness is told. That was a lie! Hello? It can't be the order of events because we know that she used her cell phone 3 minutes after the murder, so I guess it's where she saw it? Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Nah, it's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. She must have been in the security room, where she could see everything from above. The security room is up higher, so it is the only place that she could have seen both sides of the partition, other than being, like, at the south side of the partition, which means if she was there, she would be, yeah, I guess it's gotta be the security room. Take that! Take that! This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? That's where her boyfriend is. Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Starr. What? Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? The fact that we've caught her lying 8 times and we're still letting her go? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That photograph is not taken from the security guard room. That truth still stands. It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. We've caught this witness and many others. Like, I don't think that perjury exists in the Ace Attorney universe. I don't think it's real. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what a reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she saw it from B block. Must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Angle of view to the crime, because the picture is taken from the other side of the chain link fence. Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. What? And this is important, why? Perhaps you'd like to reconsider— What? That is— Hello? The angle of the crime changes how she took the picture. I'm gonna do a save here because I know it'll make me re-go through everything if we lose, like in that, in Turnabout Goodbyes. And I don't want to have to go through all the dialogue again. Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. What I said is right! I'm actually so mad right now. This is so stupid. Difference in lighting? I will literally turn off this game. We will not do this case if the answer is difference in lighting. Distance to the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. I don't care about any of that. I want to talk about the fact that she couldn't have taken that picture. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, you. Yes? You ordered the, Bro, we're about to start the second game. If this goes on much longer. The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked, I couldn't open it. What? There's no way. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. All right, she made the phone call at 18 minutes. You could not have taken that picture. You could not have taken that picture. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed them. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. What? You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Shut up. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? I mean, I have to do something, obviously. Objection! Objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. What? I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank, isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has her grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. Yeah, that was even worse than the Lotta Hart Day, I think. This is probably, like... This trial is probably the worst, like, trial in Ace Attorney I have ever had to sit through. It felt nonsensical at times. The game had, like, what felt like conflicting evidence here and there. I 100% thumbs down. This sucked. Least fun I've had in Ace Attorney thus far. I'm afraid the queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Also, the sheer amount of, like, bad jokes and all. Mr. Edgeworth, this trial day sucks. Really bad. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunch boxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunch? Oh, lunchbox. Oh, a triple decker. What a funny joke. It's so funny. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Oh my God, I'm about to turn off my PlayStation, bro. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Lunchbox, lunchbox, lunchbox. We say lunchbox 84 times every 5 text boxes in this case. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? What? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on a shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch, yada yada. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. I don't think, Judge, I move that the entire case be thrown out of court for the fact that this is a circus. This is maybe it's just because I hate this trial day, but obviously in all of the other turnabouts we've done thus far, they've done some stuff that's oh, this would never fly in an actual court. This is the first one where I've really been you've broken my suspension of disbelief. It's one thing for how Phoenix would be but I have this evidence for mine. This one where the stupid witness is yeah, I have all of this incredibly convincing evidence that I am pulling out randomly in the middle of my testimony as it's been proved that I lie over and over again. I'm dude, I don't want to sit through this anymore. This is dumb. This is dumb, and it's not fun. You had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention I have 3 boyfriends in forensics? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Okay, so now I'm even more annoyed at the game because it's breaking its own rules. Phoenix constantly throughout the first 4 turnabouts brings in evidence that he found. Well, maybe not the first turnabout because that was a tutorial, but he constantly brings in evidence not approved by the police department, and we use it to win cases. Now the game is oh, well, we can't use this evidence because it wasn't brought in by Edgeworth or Phoenix Wright, even though Phoenix Wright brings in evidence not approved all the time. Hello? What? You're breaking your own setup. You're breaking your own rules, game. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, as I mentioned previously. This shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. You're a witness. You don't get to do that. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Sure, whatever. Who cares? Yeah. Your Honor, I can see into the past, and I saw it with my past vision that she did it. I had Gumshoe, a member of the police, agree to it, so that means it's allowed and legal, so case closed. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You can at least study some evidence law, really. Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that the evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law that we just made up for this DLC case specifically. Did the people who made this case, did they play the GBA game? Did they play the first 4 cases? Or did they just, make up whatever they felt like? However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged? Victim's shoe added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Do I have to? Can I, opt out? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't. Okay, let's go through all this. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. You literally said you saw her stab her multiple times earlier, which means you're a liar already. But I guess that we're just gonna forget about that contradiction and not care about it anymore, I guess. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Your Honor, this is not a credible witness. This when the suspect is admitting she did it? But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. My feelings exactly, bro. And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes. Happy for you and your lunchbox bag. Really, if I have to read the word lunchbox one more time, bro, I'm gonna lose it. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of Lana's cat. Wait, I was supposed to be hitting L1 still. So you brought it to the forensics department? If you're gonna submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Wait, why was she bleeding? You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Ah, well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we could differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just 1 person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. Some like it hot, some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? I should probably hit save again here because we only have 1 life point and I don't want to have to go through all of the dialogue again. There's a problem. Why was she bleeding? If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes, you're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish, yada yada, but you couldn't take the heat. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Oh, what the heck? I mean, the problem is that Lana wasn't bleeding, to my knowledge. Take that! Take that? The problem with this evidence is here. Where? Take that finger and point it at your own head, Mr. Wright. What? Bro. I'm just straight up not having fun. Oh, I double tapped X. No, wait, go back. Oh, maybe I should have read this actually. Maybe I should investigate this evidence a little more closely. Whatever, man. I just like, honestly, at this point, I kind of just want to Google what the answers are so I can just skip this entire trial. Ah, there's blood here too on the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Okay, so the bottom of the shoe is specifically what I have to show. Hold it. Here's a problem. The bottom of the shoe is bloody. I wonder of you noticed there's blood on the bottom of this shoe? Don't mess with me, rookie, or I'll be your blood on the bottom. It'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe? Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? I mean, if he was, like, stabbed, how would he then step in blood? He was dead. Do I use the autopsy here? I don't know what I'm supposed to show here. Is it just the autopsy again? I don't know what to show here. Take that! Take that? I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. God. Dude, this is not fun. What am I supposed to show here? I didn't mean to click that. I kind of want to do justice for all. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of feeling like I just want to skip this one. I do not like this trial, and chat was right. The trial day and the investigation day are very, very long. It's honestly so long that it's just grating. Like, it's way, way, way too long. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do that one. It's a DLC case anyway. If it was like the main game, then I would do it. But if it's just a DLC case they added for the DS, and it honestly seems like it's just worse than all of the other days I played, all the original GBA ones, I think we're just gonna go straight to Justice for All so I can, you know, have more fun. But, yeah. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be an end of a video on YouTube. So, sorry I'm not finishing that one, but it sucks and isn't fun. So I'm gonna have fun instead. So the next video you see will be straight into the second game. So look forward to that, and thanks for watching.